if you're like me, you probably already don't use social media. Like, you're probably not using Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat, which I have my dad to thank for that because he never told me to download these apps, and he made me stay away from it, which I could not be more grateful in this modern day and age. However, if you do use these apps, it's not necessarily a problem, at least until I ask you this question. What is your screen time? Now, if your screen time is below 5 hours, then you're probably fine. You don't really need to get rid of these apps because you're probably using them the correct way and you're using them to their most efficient, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know about Snapchat. But if your screen time, like mine, is above that 5 hours mark, then you probably need to get rid of these apps because they're not really doing anything for you. And there's actually a lot of benefits that come from deleting these apps. And when you delete all of these apps from your phone, you start to create this thing where the most stimulating thing, the thing with most dopamine in your environment starts to drift away from your phone. Because currently, if I had to guess, the thing that makes you procrastinate the most is your phone. It's using social media like Instagram or TikTok. But when you delete these apps, your phone is no longer as stimulating. Like it doesn't have the same dopamine that it gave you before. And because of this boredom is the key. It allows you to go and either do the work that you were supposed to, or you start to develop even more on these other habits because they become the most stimulating thing in your environment whenever it comes to like reading a book or even journaling, crocheting, maybe even going outside to do a sport or etc., like drawing. There's a lot of things that you can do whenever you delete these apps because your phone starts to become the least stimulating thing. And because of that, it reduces your procrastination. And that is part of the key of deleting these apps. Now, before I continue on why I'm going to delete YouTube or um, things like that, I have to let you know it's okay to not take action. This part in my video it's very special. It could probably be its own video, but I just have to tell you, you don't have to take action. And what I mean by that is, whenever I say these things in my videos, like you need to go on an adventure, or you need to take up journaling and start taking notes of all these videos that I'm making, or you need to be present in the moment. All of these messages and lessons that I'm providing with you, you can, if you take action, it's gonna help you. It's gonna give you the most out of my content. However, the thing I didn't tell you, and the thing most YouTubers, especially in self improvement, don't tell you, is that is the best scenario. That is the best case scenario when it comes to my content. It's whenever you consume it and you actually take action with it. Like you actually go on that adventure. You actually start realizing that you're not aware and you need to be aware and be present in the moment you're in. Doing these things is the best case scenario. And if you're just watching my video and you're consuming this content, that's okay. That is okay. You don't necessarily have to take action because that is the best thing that could happen for you. And if people start listening to me and do these things and actually take action and comment about it, and you're still here not taking action and you're just hearing what their accomplishments that they're getting out of my lessons, it's okay. It's okay because not everyone not everyone has to do these things immediately, and knowing that, it should make you more okay whenever it comes to consuming my content and not taking action. However, I have to tell you, most self-improvement channels, and including mine, are reminders whenever it comes to taking action on these kind of things. Like, for example, let's say you're watching a workout channel and um, they have a really cool edit of this guy that's like in the gym. He's like lifting these weights, and he's like telling you to like do these things, and then you were like, man, you're right, I should go to the gym. The reminders, just like how that's kind of the philosophy of self-improvement channels. They are reminders to things you might even already know, and they just tell you and help you whenever it comes to doing this kind of or learning this kind of content from me. It makes you the best version of yourself because you just decided to take action because you heard these reminders. Let's be honest. Whenever it comes to consuming content, especially on YouTube, whenever it can even be my content, if your screen time is above the 5 hour mark, and especially if that's because of YouTube, then I don't think we're using YouTube the most efficient way. And that's something that you have to be aware of. You have to come to terms with that because using YouTube the most efficient way has a lot of methods that I've came up with. And knowing these methods, it's kind of why I'm going to delete YouTube. So, to get this started, the first method, whenever it comes to maximizing your YouTube experience, would be to delete it off your phone. Deleting your YouTube off your phone will not only reduce your screen time, which is something I really have to do, but if you're able to use it like on um, a laptop or a computer, you'll be able to watch YouTube on there, and you'll be able to use it more efficiently because you're probably going to only need it to watch it. Not when you're killing time, but whenever you need to learn something, whenever you need to be taught something. That's probably when you're going to actually decide to watch YouTube. And that's going to happen whenever you log in on a computer, not whenever you do it on your phone. You want it to make it harder to access so you're able to actually use the app more efficiently. That is the key to all of these methods. You want to make YouTube or your social media just harder to access, which will make you less likely to use it. And before I get into the second and third method, the reason why I am like quitting YouTube or what? The reason why I am deleting YouTube is because to I want to confront my coping mechanism because I believe that I've been coping. I've been saying that I use it for research purposes, and I've been saying that I use it to try to improve the quality and content and even generate ideas for my content. However, the more I really thought about it and the more I looked at my screen time, it's not true because there are some times, at least once every day, that I catch myself literally just scrolling endlessly on this content. And it means that I'm not using it in the most efficient way, which has me realizing that I need to step away from YouTube. I need to step away from using it on my phone because of how easy it is to access in it. And that's okay. That's something that everyone should be doing. That's something that you should be doing if you believe that it's taking as much time as your phone is showing. Now, to get into the last two methods, other if you don't have the luxury of using a laptop or a computer whenever it comes to YouTube, what you can do is this first or the second method, sorry. You can delete YouTube off your phone, and whenever you need to access it, like to learn something or to research on something, you need to use the website version. Sorry, you need to use like Safari or Google, whatever phone you kind of have. You want to use that version because when you use that version, you're gonna only be using it for something that you have to learn or anything that is gonna benefit you and not waste your time. Because after making it that hard to learn, you're probably just not going to waste your time doing it. You're going to actually use that time on YouTube for something productive and not waste your time, like how you would if you were just having it on your phone and you started scrolling. The third method, though, If you don't want to take action in any of these other two ways, this is the least efficient when trying to reduce your screen time. However, it is the most efficient whenever it comes to making YouTube the best experience you can get out of it possible, which would be to just, assuming your account is already fried in this way, you want to create another one. You want to create a YouTube account where this channel, or your YouTube, is only providing you with content that's going to improve you as a person or your hobbies. You want it to only recommend you these specific content, and you can probably figure that out from subscribing to specific channels and only those, and not scrolling on YouTube Shorts or anything. You want to only be able to be you want to only be able to watch this specific content. So whenever you're endlessly scrolling or wasting your time on YouTube, still, it's at least productive and will give you reminders that increase your chances of taking action. Now, before I close off this video, I have at least one more topic to talk about, and it was done with an experiment with someone that was close to me. And they had these social media apps, and I told them my POV on it and asked them for even theirs, and they decided to delete them. They had Instagram, they had Snapchat, and they had uh, TikTok, and they decided to delete these. And when they did that, they told me social media isn't social anymore. And that quote has like stuck with me. Social media isn't social anymore. I didn't understand that, but I do now. It makes sense because what he meant by that is social media, it makes you less social because you're seeing everything that's going on in your friends' lives. Like Instagram, they're probably posting about like what happened in their day today or what's going on with them. So whenever you meet up with them, or you're less likely to meet up with them in the first place, because you're probably not going to have much to talk about because you already know what's going on in their lives because they've decided to share that on social media, which makes your social interactions harder, because speaking with these kind of people that are posting their whole lives on social media, you have nothing to talk about. There's just really nothing to go on. And it makes catching up with them less exciting, because like, think about it. When you don't have social media, and let's say they don't either, you're gonna miss them. You're gonna start missing your friends, the people you talk to, and catching up with them is going to happen more often, and it's going to be exciting. You're going to have fun. It's going to make you happier as a person too, because it's going to make your social battery like non-existent. You're just going to enjoy hanging out with friends and enjoy wanting to talk to them. It's going to make you more fulfilled as a person. And that is the best takeaway of deleting social media in the first place. If none of these reasons, like procrastination or dopamine detoxes or whatever, interest you, becoming more social by deleting social media has to be the main reason why you should do it in the first place. To end this video off, I have to remind you that YouTube is the best source of social media. It will provide you the most self-improvement and taking action ability from all of these social medias, because if you're using it efficiently, if you're using it the right way, like I've told you to. But of course, if your screen time is above 5 hours, or under 5 hours, sorry, then you can disregard this little whole video. You don't have to take action on this thing because you're probably already doing everything right. If your screen time is already under 5 hours, then you probably have most of the day already being social, and you're probably just fine. Because if you're spending less than 5 hours and you're sleeping for 8, that leaves a great amount of time for you to at least have for the rest of that day. And I respect you for it. However, if you are watching social media still on YouTube or these platforms, and your screen time is above that 5 hour mark, all I ask is, after watching this video, You do what you believe is best for you. I'm still deleting YouTube, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching.